There we go. Okay, so finally it's turned on. Hello everyone and welcome to the Modern Tournament here at Grey Ogre Games. My name is Mick, I'm one of your hosts alongside the suit, James Church-Morley.
Nick, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Week 2.
You're week two.
Week two.
And soon, you can be on your own. We're watching a match here between Jeremy Ma on the left and Ng Jin Long on the right. I think I have an idea of what Jeremy is playing, and that should be Esper Control.
Esper Control?
Yeah. But I have no idea what Jin Long is playing, but let's see. Generally, All right, so maybe a Jund?
Some sort of rock deck, potentially?
Yeah. It could just be, straight up black-green. I still don't know. Everybody's told me where that rock reference is, where there's a card where the guy looks like the rock.
Is that not Spirit Monger?
Is it Spirit Monger?
Maybe that could be incorrect. So the three black green for a 6/6.
Yeah.
I think well ahead of its time in terms of power toughness to converted mana cost. Back in the day.
Back in the day
when a 3/3 for 5 was acceptable.
Was it Spirit Monger?
It may have been. That could be completely incorrect. They've changed the photo for.
Let's see. The original Monkey mask. Yeah, I guess so. I see the semblance. Yeah. I guess I see the semblance. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway. Jeremy here going to start off, bolting himself.
The Inquisition of Kozilek.
Yeah, the Inquisition. I think. Okay, so if we don't know what's in Jeremy's hand. Okay, so Jeremy's hand is okay. So I would take. I'd probably take the Inquisition.
So I was going to say, do you take the Inquisition just to...
Or do you take the Bob, right?
Yeah. Because obviously the Dark Confidant can gain the incremental advantage over time, and where the deck may be looking to trade 1-for-1. Yeah. But the Inquisition just gives you so much extra information on your opponent's hand, potential lines of play.
Exactly. And so he does take the Inquisition, especially if Jeremy here has a removal for the Bob. So Jin Long should know that, but he's going to run it out anyway.
Is that?
Yep. Okay. Oh, he's just going to pass the turn. All right. Nope. Okay.
Dark Confidant. Yeah.
All right. So trying to tell Jeremy. All right. You got removal.
Yeah.
You got removal, bro. He's
considering a Thought Scour. And then collective brutality. Gonna
discard the Thought Scour, and now I'm gonna strip your hand of that Fatal Push.
So collective brutality is 1 in the black, and you get a number of options.
Yeah.
So target creature gets -2/-2. Opponent, you choose. They see the hand, and you discard a card.
You discard instant or sorcery.
Yeah.
Instant or sorcery.
And then you can pay. You can discard a card from your hand to escalate it, so to gain more than one of the modes there.
Oh yeah.
Card I think that wasn't that popular in Standard. We're still in Standard,
okay. I won't say it wasn't popular. It was popular at one point in time when there was the Grixis Thermal Alchemist deck. Like when there was only one Thermal Alchemist, and that was I piloted that deck to
niche.
Just crazy success. Like everybody's playing like, oh, I'm gonna play my black green, I don't know, my Abzan or black green Delirium deck. No man, you're doing it wrong. If you land a turn 3 Fevered Visions, like your opponent's just like scooping. Like, there's no way out of it because everybody's playing mid range at that point. There's no.
Was that a one-hit wonder?
Yeah, it was a one-hit wonder. I tried to make a comeback, but it wasn't.
Format
not
badly positioned for the format, shall we say?
Yeah.
so I think Jeremy's dealt out Tasigur with only 2 lands.
And plays a Nephalia Drown. Whoa, is that a Nephalia Drown yet?
Yeah, so that's one blue-black tap. Target opponent puts top 3 cards of their deck into their library.
Yeah, that's a strange choice though. I would have left the blue up, but okay. Alright, respectable.
And Jinlong reading the Nephalia Drown.
Am I getting this right? Alright, so there goes the Tasigur. That's fine.
So Maelstrom Pulse.
Yeah, man, I wish he had left the blue up. I honestly.
But what?
No, you would at least pull up like some face that okay, I've got a Spell Pierce in hand.
Okay.
I'm playing blue. I'm playing Esper Control. Like Spell Pierce is definitely going to be one of the cards that I have just main board because that's a lot of tempo, and early on and even late in the game, like you can just just catch your opponent off guard. Here we go. Path to Exile, going to get rid of that.
Tireless Tracker.
Yeah.
Tireless Tracker really hasn't generated much advantage either, and no
lands.
No lands, no clues.
No lands, no clues.
And then gets a foil. Basic forest. Very important. It's foil.
So how's your day been? It's
been okay. It's been okay. Long week at work.
Oh yeah,
long.
It's Hump Day, man. Like everybody should be celebrating. Oh man.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I'm looking forward to Friday.
Oh nice.
Get it.
Isn't everybody looking forward to Friday?
I think so, but get a draft on. See the format out in style and.
Wait. How do you guys do? So you're part of the team draft that's running at Grey Oak Eagles, right? So how do you guys do for the team draft yesterday?
So. We were 1-1 coming into the day, and we won yesterday 6-3. So we won versus the Grey Ogre Games All-Star team.
Oh wow, Mark, you bet at the game, man.
Hey, I was the best scoring one. Jill went 0-3.
Oh man, you guys bad at the game. You guys bad. We need to play y'all. We need to play y'all like now.
I'm like lifetime 0-3 against her, even though I have
we have Mark's relative Kryptonite in our team.
Yes, that's good.
So no, but it's good, and team draft is a slightly different dynamic to 8-man drafting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Whatever
you pass, you're gonna see during the draft.
Well, it's a completely draft is a closed environment, but team draft is a zero-sum game because whatever resources you don't have, your opponents definitely will have, and you're going to see it in all 3 rounds. So some people have suggested that our strategy of cutting cards
cut everything
has been a little bit aggressive. I disagree on that. I think we've been doing it right. But there are a lot more playables in formats now than there used to be. So everyone's going to have a deck. Everyone's going to have 25 playables. They're going to have a couple of sideboard cards. Even if you cut 15 cards, they're still going to have enough cards and a sideboard.
Exactly.
So it's just a risk reward.
You got to cut the ones that are really important.
Yes.
And then just like give up the rest.
I think so. Yeah. Fine. So Jeremy's just played a Scarab God.
Yeah, I was like, Chinlong like took a long hard look at the card and is like wondering, really, you playing Scarab God, bro?
It's the second time he's looked at a card. In this game, firstly looking at the Nephalia Drown Yard,
I was like,
and then second time the Scarab God. But it's interesting though because if you can get it online, Nephalia Drown Yard discarding the top 3 cards of your opponent's graveyard
gets you
advantage.
And
and his deck appears to be set up to go to the long game as well. We've seen some removal, presumably counter spells as well. I'm just looking to sort of grind out decks, play the Scarab God, and start making 4/4s.
And he can just, that's the weirdest part because he can just like reanimate a dude.
Yeah.
And block that
the Tarmogoyf.
The Tarmogoyf or the Hissing Quagmire that's been beating in. So Jeremy I think is in command of this game.
It's interesting. There's a Dark Confidant lurking in Jinlong's graveyards, and
but Jeremy's at 9 life. Like he has to consider this. His spells are not cheap. You flip over a Tarsigur, like you're gonna be down to 3. You flip over another Scarab God or some other finisher, you're dead. So
I'd imagine he's thinking, try and get that Tarmogoyf into the graveyard.
Oh man, that'll be sweet.
Not sure the effects.
No, it'll be a 4/4.
It'll be a 4/4, but I mean
4/4 flat. That's it.
But being able to, kill one of your opponent's creatures and then bring it back on your side, you get the incidental effect of scrying and the opponent losing life. It's just so powerful in these longer games.
Oh wow, he brought back the Tarsigur? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so I think he doesn't want to take that extra damage from the Dark Confidant.
So do you think that he's potentially looking now to next turn activate the Tarsigur, try and get something back from his graveyard, start gaining advantage in that way?
Yeah. Well, his graveyard now is 3 lands
I'll say,
and...
so I I think he had a path to exile, but obviously delved it away for the first Tasigur.
Yep.
We haven't seen many spells going in, so maybe he's just going to use it as a body to block the Tarmogoyf instead.
All right, so there seems to be some dispute at the end. Let's see. All right, okay, so Abrupt Decay, the Tasigur.
So I think they were talking about converted mana cost.
Right, okay.
Just to check that it had a converted mana cost of 0.
Yep.
Which I think is right.
Yeah. It brings it back as a token, but it's not a copy. Specifically, it does say, I think, let's just bring up the rules here. Scarab. God, Scarab. Nope, not. Oh, it's the Scarab.
Of course.
God, yep. Because,
so it's a token.
Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black zombie when Scarab got.
No.
Oh, no. No. Alright, hold on.
Mick has spotted a rules violation, is rushed away from the commentary booth to correct it. The players are still keeping going as it stands, and so it's not sure what's going on at the moment. I think something to do with the Tasigur and what's happened to it once it had left the field. So both players just double checking the wording on the Scarab God.
I need my compendium.
So Mick appeared and Mick's racing back now to the feature match area just to sort out this potential just rules check. In terms of the wider board position, I think it's quite interesting. It seems to be at a stalemate. Both players have relatively developed mana bases, can play most of their spells. Jinlong obviously got the Tarmogoyf, which is a 4/5 at the moment. But Jeremy has the Scarab God as a 4/4, can just block it and then return it to his hand at the end phase and then replay it, which is just going to give him a blocker into perpetuity. Jinlong will obviously be looking to draw a second creature to try and just push through damage now. You'd think that having the Scarab God in play and being able to play it and being able to potentially bring a creature back as a zombie at the end of every turn is going to favour Jeremy in the long game. So Jinlong potentially looking for something like a Maelstrom Pulse just for the tempo to get it off the battlefield, or another Tarmogoyf, or potentially something like a Dark Confidant, which he can just start drawing an additional card a turn. And then it looks like Mick has rewound the game state back to the previous turn. And so the Abrupt Decay has gone back to Jinlong's hand, and Jeremy still has his Tasigur token on the battlefield. Presumably this means that the token made by the Scarab God keeps the converted mana cost of the card it copies. In this case, Tasigur has 4 and then hybrid blue mana as the mana cost. 4 black as the mana. 5 black as the mana cost. So his converted mana cost of 6 is not going to be able to be targeted by Abrupt Decay. So Mick, I was speculating that the token comes in and keeps its mana cost, so it would have a mana cost of 5 black, so it wouldn't be able to be targeted by the Abrupt Decay. Is that correct?
Correct. You are correct, sir. So, what we did there, okay, so I'm a level 1 judge that most people don't know. And I think the 2 players there also still don't know. They're going to assume that I am. Okay, what happens that it's enough of a, simple enough rewind.
Okay.
Although that something would have happened with the Scarab God on the battlefield. Okay, so there were 2 options. Either do a rewind, which in all honesty might be complicated.
Oh. So just getting the Serum Visions, which is draw a card, then scry 2, rather
than scry 2, yeah.
I think rather
than... The thing that complicates it is because the Scarab God, that trigger, allows you to scry as well.
Okay.
So Jeremy just put a random card at the back on top of the library.
Okay.
Okay, which means that if he doesn't want that card, so I told him to put a random card, and he would draw that. He would possibly could have put some very useless card at the back there, and then dump it on the bottom.
Okay.
So which he didn't, because I picked out the random card for him.
Okay.
So in the end, he still drew it, which was a Jace or something like that. And
okay.
Then yeah.
Fine. So
well, very.
Yeah, it's very technical, and there's so many interactions with each card coming in a whole new set, and something as complicated as the Scarab God, and how does it interact with something from
people
Fate Reforged?
I think just people forget sometimes that you gotta read the cards, because for Scarab God it's not the same as Embalm or Eternalize. Embalm is specifically says that it's 0 casting cost. It's this thing. Eternalize is 0 casting cost. It's a copy of the creature, except it's 0 casting cost. It's black and blah blah blah. God Pharaoh's Gift doesn't say eternalize that creature. It says make a copy of that creature and put it on the battlefield. So does Scarab God. Scarab God.
So it keeps its converted mana cost.
Correct. So it keeps. It's an exact copy of that creature.
Okay.
Everything at the top. So except it's 4/4.
So as a result of that, Jinlong's still got the Abrupt Decay and how much I think he's used.
Yeah, he used it on the Jace. So
okay.
So there was some advantage that Jeremy knew.
Yeah.
That Jinlong had the
just an unfortunate
Abrupt Decay.
Jeremy followed up with a Snapcaster Mage into a Path to Exile for the Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
And then now has played a Lingering Souls for 2 1/1 Flying Spirit tokens. Seems to be in complete control of this game now.
Yes, and I'm not sure, if there's anything that Jinlong can do, because that Fatal Push is not going to work on the Tarsigur, in fact. But it does work on the Snapcaster.
Yeah.
But I don't think you want to...
No, I agree. The Snapcaster's already generated this advantage by the time it's come onto the battlefield.
Yeah, exactly. If you kill the Snapcaster, Jeremy can bring it back and then get another spell.
Yeah.
And that's not...
And using it on one of the Lingering Souls tokens, which can be flashback for 2 and a black, just feels so bad.
Yeah, this is a tough game. Like Jeremy doesn't have lethal on the table yet, but I think he'll use the Scarab God. Yeah, okay, so he takes back the Jace. So Jace is gonna be a 4/4. I've never seen Jace beat face before.
Not what Jace is known to do.
Yeah, exactly.
General. Tends to sit back, draw some cards.
Even the new Jace is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna.
But it seems very difficult for Jinlong to come back from this. The deck is so much based on 1/1 removal, efficient creatures, Tarmogoyf, Dark Confident, generating you advantage.
Yeah.
Hoping to have more cards than your opponent, and you're faced with
more
6
cards,
creatures, 6 creatures on the battlefield and a card in hand, and there we see a Fatal Push on the Jace Vryn's Prodigy.
Alright, so Jace goes down. There's going to be an activation for the Hissing Quagmire, probably taking out the Tarsigur.
So the Jace was attacking.
Alright, okay, so before blocks, I'm going to kill
kill the Hissing Quagmire.
And that's 14. 8... 12, sorry, that's
12. So down to 2. But Jinlong, in real difficult situation here, needs to find an answer to
Scarab God is
multiple creatures.
Yeah.
The only thing you could think of maybe Damnation.
Like that's about it, but even Damnation's probably not gonna cut it. He's gonna try to thin out his deck for...
Well, Damnation puts the Scarab God into the graveyard for 1 turn, but then it just goes back to the hand of Jeremy, and
exactly.
can cast it again, and the cycle begins all over again. Bring the Snapcaster back, generate some more advantage, and we don't even know. I think it's rare for the black-green decks to even be playing Damnation main board. Game 1. In game 2 and game 3, maybe in the sideboard to deal with the token matchups or something where the spot removal couldn't deal with. That you just need to deal with what creatures decks that have gone wide.
Yeah,
deny humans.
I'm just wondering if Jinlong's deck here has possibly has a Leyline of the Void in the sideboard, because I think this game is long.
So Leyline of Void would all cards that go to an opponent's graveyard are exiled instead.
Yeah,
and so obviously very good against the combination of Tasiga, no cards to delve away; Snapcaster, no cards to target; Scarab God, no cards for you to bring back unless you've killed your opponent's cards.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So that's a good draw, but I don't think it's enough unless that last card in hand is
another Kitchen Finks.
Yeah. Well,
even then,
so it could be a Fatal Push on the Kitchen Finks. No, but he need to do the Fatal Push right now. And yeah, I'm not quite sure if Jeremy,
I think,
wants to do this. All right, so he's gonna mill his opponent. Wow.
So there's a Scavenging Ooze and
double Scavenging Ooze and a Tarmogoyf, and that's
Scavenging Ooze, a very efficient answer to the Esper deck. Again, we talked about Leyline of Void a second ago, but Scavenging Ooze able to
main board answer is fantastic. Yeah,
pay a green and exile a card from a graveyard. If it's a creature, you get +1/+1 counter from the use and gain 1 life. So
that life gain is sometimes it's quite
especially if you've got the Dark Confident as well, where you're losing maybe on average 1.5 life a turn. And then you just can gain it back with Scavenging Ooze.
Exactly.
So I think Jeremy wrapped up game 1 there.
Yeah, Esper Control, very interesting version of Esper Control. I didn't see a lot of control elements, in fact. Just the not Thoughtseizers, the Inquisitions and the Paths. And
more of an Esper mid-range deck. Had the Jace Friends Prodigy play.
That's right.
So draw a card, discard a card, and then putting cards in the graveyard for Tasiga. And then also putting cards in the graveyard for the Scarab God. I don't think we'd see, for example, a Supreme Verdict.
No,
it doesn't seem to fit with the deck that he wants. It doesn't seem to be the sort of game plan that he wants to play.
I got a question, like, why is he, why the white? I know Lingering Soul is a fantastic card. White has Path to Exile, and it feels like his deck is properly balanced. His deck is it's got Geist.
Right. So maybe this is what maybe we're seeing in the sideboard. The first point is White has access to the most powerful side deck cards in the format.
Yes, exactly.
Second of all, Geist of Saint Draft against this deck, which has spot removal,
it's hilarious,
is incredibly difficult to deal with.
Especially if you've got Scarab. Oh my goodness! If you got Scarab God, then you got 4/4 hexproof guy. And it's like, yeah, okay, sure.
So Jinlong potentially, we're hoping he's got a Damnation in hand, or it could be over.
Well, even if he's got a Damnation in hand, well, maybe that was a one-off from Jeremy, the one-off Scarab God. Who knows?
I think it would,
but it's very powerful. It's a extremely powerful card, and I think it works very well, very very well in his deck. So
yeah, it's seen obviously some play in Standard recently in the 4-color. Teamer energy, no longer Teamer energy, splashing black for the Scarab God, where you can obviously, but Standard's much more dominated by creature matches. Most of the decks want to play creatures. In Modern, we're going to see potentially decks that don't have.
Doesn't even have interaction to begin with.
Yeah, they just want to play by themselves, and if there's opponents sitting across from them, or if there isn't an opponent sitting across from them, it doesn't matter. They're just gonna.
Hey, I'm gonna Khan on turn 3, and I think, all is dust on turn 3.
I think that's unfair. You're still playing with someone there. You still gotta Khan still gets to exile cards from their hand or restart the game. There's still there's a notion of interaction.
No, there's no interaction at all. If you do not have the Ghost Quarters, and even if you do, there's zero interaction.
Sometimes they just have the natural Tron.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just mine power plant.
Yeah, I don't even have to cast my
your expedition maps or No, sometimes they just have it.
Dirty deck.
I was thinking more of sort of an ad nauseum deck where genuinely, you could be sitting in a room by yourself playing Magic and still have a great time, presumably playing the ad nauseum.
Is this? Man, I was just watching. Was it Against the Odds? No, not Against the Odds. Matcha Brew.
Okay.
What's his name?
That's a Saffron Olive on MTG Goldfish.
Man, hilarious that he was playing not Panharmonicon.
Is this the
engine, Paradox engine.
So untap all permanents when a creature comes in, when you cast a spell, is that right?
So jank. The janky Storm deck, and it's fun to watch.
I did see a video of him playing Paradox Outcome in Standard with all of the very, very cheap artifacts.
The zero mana artifacts.
Yeah, with Improvise as well. Just playing all of the cards,
bone swords and
all of the bone swords, but also the 1 mana artifact from Aether Revolt, where each of the coloured ones, so the implements, cycle, just because they're so cheap and the incremental effects.
Yeah.
Wow. So
turn
1 Grafdigger's Cage.
Nice. Okay, so good sideboard draw there from Jinlong, and let's see what he follows that up with. So Jeremy here going to also bolt himself, and
Watery Grave untapped.
And let's see, it's probably going to either be a Serum Vision,
Thought Scour potentially. The Thought Scour loses a lot of utility once the Grafdigger.
Grafdigger's Cage.
But you want to put less cards into the graveyard, I think, once the Grafdigger's Cage is there potentially.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I think he's going to keep the Lingering Souls on the top. This match is potentially Jeremy trying to go wide, and I believe he left the land on top, so you can Serum Visions, take the land or take the Lingering Souls, just follow up with another player. Okay, so Bob,
Dark Confident turn 2.
Dark Confident's gonna bite the dust, I feel.
Jeremy.
So you want that card on top, but he has another. I believe he has another Lingering Souls. You might want that card on the top, but I think you should crack first. Oh no, okay, so he's gonna go for it. Just draw the Lingering Souls. And it doesn't really matter what he.
So it looks like an island, and then I think it might be a Fatal Push as well.
No, I think it's another land. It's hard to tell from here, yeah. But the island's probably going to go to the bottom, and he's going to crack.
So another Polluted Delta.
All right. Oh, wow. He's going to let the Dark Confident get some.
Wow.
Jeez, that's
not bad.
Yeah, that's
bad.
Good.
And
good
I think Jinlong drew a Tarmogoyf as well.
Yep.
His draw.
Yep.
So, wow, attack for 2, and
surprise there, Jeremy.
I mean, the dream play here would be Tarmogoyf followed up by Thoughtseize or Inquisition of the Kozilek on turn 3. But we'll see if that comes to fruition.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the decision is too hard here, unless if you had a tireless tracker. Do you like that more than the Tarmogoyf?
No, I think keep up the Tarmogoyf and.
Do you think Jinlong's? He's realised perhaps he doesn't have the long game against this deck and just needs to.
You need to add the pressure.
Yeah,
especially since Jeremy here couldn't dispatch the Dark Confident. But Jeremy here, I think, wants to just slam that Supreme Verdict in his hand.
So he's so interesting. Ooh. He does have the Supreme Verdict. It looks like he's lacking white mana.
It's lacking like 2 white, but he just drew another land. I think another Polluted Delta. He'll probably get rid of the Dark Confident.
So
the Collective Brutality in hand.
So he has a Path to Exile as well. Is there any merit in cracking the Polluted Delta, going to get Hallowed Fountain, Path to Exile on the Dark Confident rather than Collective Brutality? Well,
Collective Brutality on that and then Path the Tarmogoyf. Okay. Because Jinlong doesn't need so much mana. His deck is efficient. It's like 1 mana, 2 mana removal. I think the most is a Maelstrom Pulse or the Liliana on turn 3, which I think maybe Jeremy needs to be aware. So do the Collective Brutality, lay that land, and then just wait for the Goyf. Don't be.
And do you think Jeremy's going to be looking for 2 modes on the Collective Brutality to potentially take an instant or sorcery from Jinlong's hand as well?
Yeah, for sure. He might actually go for all three, and honestly speaking, I might go for all three.
So what's the third mode on Collective Brutality? We have the -2/-2, and they're taking instant or sorcery from the hand.
The third one is you gain 2 life and your opponent loses 2 life. That's
fine.
So he took quite a bit of damage from. He took quite a bit of damage from his lands, and they're gonna get rid of Scarab God. That's interesting. And let me take a look at your hand. Your hand is just creature. Thrun is going to be annoying.
That's probably a one-of in his sideboard, I would say at the most, just for the blue decks, the spell decks.
Yeah.
Interesting to bring it in against the Esper control deck. Potentially just thinks it's it has regenerate. A blocker.
Right. That's right.
An efficient blocker.
And we don't see too what you call it. We rarely see that black nowadays uses sacrifice.
Oh yeah, so any edict effect, to get rid of the. Very difficult to get rid of the throne once the opponent has mana up to be able to protect it.
Yeah. Okay, so gonna look for probably a Halo Fountain untapped. I don't like this play.
You don't like this?
Yeah, I think you just wait. Maybe let your opponent think, hey, I got nothing. Because if you path, he doesn't have the extra land. If you path it right now, he's definitely gonna have the other land. But you did see his hand, so
so he has 2 lands in hand already.
Mm-hmm.
So I presume he goes and gets a forest here. Yeah, gets the forest.
So he can definitely cast that Thrun, and I really don't like this play.
I think the play may be. Jeremy's seen he has the Thrun, hoping for Chinlong to play the Thrun this turn. Jeremy draws a land untapped, Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, I understand that, but if you don't draw that land,
so now just Snapcaster Mage.
What happens?
Well, it was Snapcaster Mage into Path to Exile, which gets rid of the Thrun still.
No, Thrun has Hexproof.
Oh, Thrun has Hexproof. So that doesn't work.
Yep. Thrun is extremely, extremely powerful. And on the other hand, also, I don't like Chinlong's play there. I think he could have gone out with the what do you call it? Kitchen Finks in his hand, and then cast the Thrun this turn and still have mana to regenerate the Thrun. So
he sort of priced into casting a spell that only costs 3 mana,
right?
And preferably leaves him green up as well.
Because he's got the extra land. He's got 2 extra lands in his hand right now, which then doesn't make sense. Like what he was.
So Dark Confidence. So Snapcaster Mage and a Blooming Marsh go to the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's the 4th land though.
Yep.
Which isn't gonna.
That's not gonna cut it. He's got Obsidian. Okay, so one of the interesting things in Jeremy's deck, he plays Obsidian, and I think the sideboard has Goryo's Vengeance. So you discard that Obsidian
and then bring it back and attack, and then put with the triggers on the stack. The Obsidian gets exiled rather than.
And then you bring back the Obsidian next turn, and it's a great way to drain. But right now he doesn't have the mana.
So so Obsidian is 1 white black.
Yeah,
is that correct? So very
tough,
very color intensive for a 3-color deck.
Yeah, but if you can discard it on turn 1, so that's what the Collective Brutality is for. Like that's what you want to cast on turn 2, discard it, and then go, Goryo's Vengeance, swing in, drain you for 2, swing in for 5, and then exile it, and then and then we'll start the process again, over and over again. Jeremy here
ticking up again with Liliana, so both players discard a card.
Okay, so Collective Brutality here. Here's the graveyard.
And a Ghost Quarter for Jinlong.
Oh man! Okay.
And then another. I think we've seen a playset of Syrian Visions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's hard when we don't have a second screen. Yeah.
What happened to the second screen?
Mark took it back.
He
didn't buy a second.
He didn't buy a second screen.
Mark, why?
I'm sure it's in transit.
Is it?
I don't know. It may be in transit. In transit from somewhere to somewhere else, not necessarily to the shop.
to the shop, right? Yeah. The fabled second screen.
Second screen, and then Inquisition of Kozilek sees the Obsidian and the Supreme Verdict.
Well, it's a whiff, but doesn't really matter because
Jinlong reading the Obsidian.
So that's what it does, huh?
Yeah. probably wondering why are you playing an Obsidat in your Esper deck. We haven't. I don't think we've seen a Goryo's Vengeance yet in Jeremy's hand, or
not yet.
So maybe Jinlong's put it together that this card is going to be discarded to a Collective Brutality, and then bought back.
Or the Liliana, like he could just.
Or the Liliana.
Yeah. So yeah, Jeremy here's got to be a little. Jinlong here's got to be a little careful.
So do you think he's more worried at this point about the Supreme Verdict or the Obsidat? The Obsidat, surely.
I think the Obsidat, because the Obsidat definitely gets him. Okay, so Lingering Souls helps him stay alive. Jeremy here just looking for that one more land, and Jinlong here just needs cards to remove. If he's got Maelstrom Pulse, that'll be great. But unfortunately...
But this is the situation the black-green deck wants to be in, really. Yeah. Winning the attrition battle.
Alright. Okay, so, fantastic. You're gonna kill one of your guys, gonna make you discard and both cards.
So then ticking up the Liliana to discard the Obsidat, attacking in, and a fifth land off the top would just feel...
Yeah.
And Jeremy scoops it up.
Okay, so but now Jeremy knows about the Thran, and I felt that was a very it felt very muddled. I felt because so what happened? Jeremy had I think very early on misplayed some. Or missequence some things.
So this is in relation to the Serum Visions and the scrying and the
exactly. Not cracking your lands. Just the sequencing of that. Like he could have looked. He had that third land in hand. He knew. He didn't have that third land in hand. He knew he could crack and then just scry. Draw and then scry. Scry 2 is quite a lot. You might find that third land. For you to cast other spells, but decided to try to go greedy and instead, just Serum Visions first and then later fetch land. But that doesn't make sense because if you're looking for lands, you shouldn't be hoping that Serum Visions will get you that land, especially when you have 3 Polluted Deltas in hand. That will just cost you a lot of life. So yeah,
and we saw the play where he cracked a Polluted Delta and then went to get a Hallowed Fountain on tap just to play the Path to Exile.
Yeah.
When he knew that
you could just do it later.
Had the Thran in hand.
Mm-hmm. He could have just waited. Like that turn. Alright, take that extra 3 damage from the Tarmogoyf. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be that menacing. And next turn, if you don't draw the land, if you draw the land next turn, you can wipe the board.
Yeah.
Like he loses both Tarmogoyf and the Thran.
Yeah.
And that would be, half your battle.
And that's his window as well. You really only have one chance with the Thran.
Yeah,
exactly.
That
when they cast it, and you hope they don't cast it with 6 mana up to get it on that turn, because otherwise they just leave 2 mana up to regenerate it, and it's going to stay in the battlefield
forever and ever and ever,
and incredibly difficult for the Esper deck to deal with, really, unless of course we get into Scarab God and regenerating creatures 4/4s and they just stare at each other across the battlefield. But
but that was kind of strange. And on Jinlong's side, I actually I criticize the players a lot. Like I've watched enough Modern to know that was actually a very risky play on Jinlong's side.
So
because just dropping that Thran and not having the regeneration up, that was crazy ballsy, and that could have just
he was rewarded for it.
He was rewarded. I won't say he was rewarded. He was Jeremy wasn't able to capitalize.
He wasn't punished for it.
Yeah, he wasn't punished.
So being rewarded and not being punished are not the same thing.
Being rewarded is that you make a brilliant play. And then you make a brilliant but risky play. There was no risk at that point. He could have just dropped the kitchen things.
Yeah. I don't. You see what you're saying is the risk and reward were not commensurate.
Yeah, exactly.
The risk outweighed the reward.
If you lose your Thran, that's big, because Thran is a 4/4. You can't touch this, and it can regenerate forever and ever.
It's one of the ways that Jinlong wins the game. Being able to just have this creature that is you can't functionally remove from the battlefield.
That's true.
Which is, but like we saw, he did end up winning.
Yeah.
Sometimes your very good plays are you don't get there, and sometimes the risky plays do get you there, and that's just
no. But he still had other cards to cast. He had his Kitchen Finks. He had he could have just laid a land and just blew up one of Jeremy's lands. Especially Jeremy being stuck on that white.
Yes.
Yeah, so
and I think we have all of the information up here as well.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah, it's
but you're playing against you're playing against Esper Control. You gotta believe that your opponent's gonna be running some kind of Wrath or something.
I think even all of the information makes me look good. Gives me the ability to spot the plays, which trust me, when I'm playing is not the case at all. Therefore,
Is it right?
I always think everyone's just got a handful of lands until proven otherwise. Until something happens, and then proven sadly mistaken. So we've seen a sort of a slower start this game.
Yeah.
So Drowned Catacomb, Flooded Strand for Jeremy.
All right, nice draw there by Jinlong. The Grafdigger's Cage, just totally locking Jeremy out of his Lingering Souls, and I'm surprised that Jeremy actually still keeping the Lingering Souls in his deck.
I saw something interesting in the deck, which was a Blood Baron of Viscopa.
Oh yeah,
the gate crash mythic. As long as you have 30 or more life, it has I think +5/+5 and flying. Is that correct?
I love the idea of Blood Baron. So Blood Baron basically, I don't think it's pro black and pro white. Yeah. Blood Baron.
It's like two words.
Oh, it's 2 words. Yeah, it's 2 words.
But it was. I seem to remember it was used off in some sort of
Orzhov
control deck in the Return to Ravnica standard, where you just play sweepers, play spot removal, and then slam this guy.
And then you got answers. No. Protection from white, protection from black. As long as you control 30 or more, as long as you have 30 or more life and your opponent has 10 or less life, it gets +6/+6 and has flying, which means that next turn, opponent, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
you're basically gonna die.
So another collective brutality for Jeremy.
Yeah, and they're taking out
so I think he went to the hand with that one, discarded a Fatal Push from Jinlong, and then a Grafdigger's
Cage. That kind of nullifies a lot of Jeremy's cards. I hope Jeremy did bring in some artifact removal.
So Jeremy has a Gideon Ally of Zendikar in hand.
Oh, spice.
But and I think we're going to see it, and then make a 2/2 Night token with Vigilance. It's just going to block
all day long.
All day
long. But he did take. So he only took one Fatal Push. And there's not enough. Okay, so Fatal Push. I don't know. I don't think you would, right? Okay.
So Fatal Push.
Right.
So he's presumably he's going to want to attack the Gideon.
All right, so he's going to slam that Liliana. Okay, so here we go. Land, and then Inquisition first.
So the Inquisition puts there's already a sorcery in the graveyard from the Serum Vision.
Oh, man. Yeah, okay, there goes the Glorious Vengeance.
The combo, the Glorious Vengeance and the Obsidat.
So why didn't Jeremy discard the
Obsidat to the Collective Brutality?
He had it in his hand. Okay, anyway. Man, I would have run out that Obsidat like full stop. Like I would have just Collective Brutality the last turn and then just Obsidat this turn.
Well, it's one of the ways that the Esper deck seems to be able to race. Is put a 5/5 onto the battlefield with haste, attack, gain 2 life, lose 2 life.
Yeah.
So there's a 7 points of damage coming in each turn and gaining 2 life, which
that's a 9-point swing.
Even with the Tarmogoyfs. The big creatures, the Thruns of the world from the black-green deck, is going to be very difficult to overcome that.
Exactly. So, I'm kind of startled, I guess.
And now Liliana comes down
and just going to make you discard, and he's going to discard.
So and here we go. So the play there to make Tarmogoyf a 4/5 and just take out the Gideon.
The Gideon, yeah. And now Tarmogoyf is a 5-6. And so Obsidian is like kind of useless. And Jeremy here just...
Very tough position now. Yeah. And again, what the black-green deck wants to do, it wants to play an efficient creature like a Tarmogoyf and then run you out of cards.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, and Kalitas, Tracer of Get, another...
Oh, he didn't... Oh, wait. He didn't activate the Liliana? Yeah. Okay. All right. That's ballsy.
I think he had no cards in hand, and then he drew a Kalitas for turn and just wanted to play.
Yeah,
it.
But
you can activate it. You can
activate
it. Yeah.
Both players discard a card. Sure, all right.
And then with the Grafdigger's Cage as well, locking out Jeremy.
Yeah.
Anything he puts into the graveyard probably not going to be useful anyway. It's just going to be discarding cards from his hand at that point.
Exactly. So now Tarmogoyf is a 5-6, and this is almost lethal.
So that's 8 damage there.
Yeah,
3 from the Kalitas.
Yeah, so Jeremy can't even crack a fetch if he has it.
So discard a Snapcaster.
Alright, okay, so I think Jinlong thinks that he needs a card in hand to activate the Liliana. Let me go and enlighten him in a short bit. So yeah, Jinlong here takes the game. I think Jeremy here took a few... I think he drew the Goryo's Vengeance. He didn't know he was going to get that Goryo's Vengeance, but I think you still just toss the... Obsidian, because that's part of your game plan. Let's go in Goryo's Vengeance and get the Obsidian back and then swing for lots of damage. Alright. Yeah, that's the match. We're going to go for a short break here. And I'll put you on a replay, but we're going to be back in like 5 minutes time. I don't think there's a lot of people still playing. Anyway, before I go, just want to remind you that you can catch us on the stream every Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays not so much anymore, but I'm hoping that Dinosaurs will bring back the standard crowd.
Tuesdays is the standard stream.
Yeah, Tuesdays is the standard stream, but we haven't been having it because we haven't been having the crowd. And everybody's been complaining, yeah, I don't have the standard. Well, hopefully Dinosaurs will bring it back.
It's always
Are you Team Dinosaurs or Team Pirates? Or Merfolk? Or Fairies? Or Ninjas? Or I don't know.
Team Magic cards.
Team Magic cards.
Not overly fussed with what the Magic cards look like, if I'm honest.
If they're worth money, I'm okay.
Not even if they're worth money. If
they're powerful, I'm playing it.
That's what I'm more interested in. How good are they in limited?
In limited. Wow.
No, it looks good. The Dinosaurs.
Oh man, I feel 5 mana, 5/5 haste. Like yeah, sure. 5 mana, 5/5 trample haste.
The Dinosaurs look like what they wanted Naya to be when they made Shards of Alara. I feel big. Obviously they
big
didn't.
Fat creatures.
Obviously they didn't do dinosaurs in Alara. They did beasts. Which I think are
beasts and elementals.
less popular as tropes than dinosaurs are. Dinosaurs obviously very evocative of people's.
Did you see the entire list of erratas?
Yes,
like dinosaur.
All of these creatures are now dinosaurs.
Anything with Saurus in it is not lizard, is not beast, it's dinosaur now.
Yeah,
because dinosaur is lizard beast. Okay, so yeah, Tuesday is our standard streams. Wednesday is our modern stream, 8 p.m. Singapore time. If you miss it, just go on down to youtube.com/Grey Ogre Games, watch all the replays because we upload it right there. If you want to find out more about the invitations and how you can compete, because we just started a new season, go on down to greyogregames.com. Last but not least, do listen to the Power 9 podcast. Every week, myself and Alfian, we get together and we talk shop about a little game called Magic the Gathering. Alright, we're going to go for a short break. We'll be right back, so don't go away. Bye-bye.